Well, welcome again, and I'm sure there's more we should be saying about a relationship with God, but at least for now, we're gonna pause this series, and I'm just gonna do something very practical this time, and you take it as you wish. But I'm going to share with you some of the books that have been helpful to me in a relationship with Jesus, and I could certainly mention more if I could think of them. Because I have searched on this area in my life for a long time. But I think in these 5 or 6 minutes, we can give you some ideas, and maybe you'll find, maybe you've read some, or maybe you want to go back and read it again, but there may be some that you want to go find. Obviously, it starts with the Bible, words of Jesus, reading the Proverbs. No shortcuts. Time with Jesus. No shortcuts. Read the words, read the red words, read the stories and the teachings of Jesus, what Jesus did, the acts of Jesus. A little book by Oswald Chambers, anything by Oswald Chambers, but a little small book, My Utmost for His Highest. He was a missionary in Egypt, and died young, but a great, great spiritual mentor. His calling is high, my utmost for His highest. I mean, he asks a lot, and he will expose every duplicitous or untrue motive in your soul. But I am a better person to read Oswald Chambers. I'm going to tell you a book by someone, his name is Dick Wynn. He wrote a worship book called His Healing Love, and it's just one of the best books on the character of God that I've ever read. And I can tell you more about it, but they're hard to find. You have to go online and hope you can find one in a book sale. His Healing Love by Dick Wynn. I've obviously have to talk about Steps to Christ. You can see all the different times I've gone through it, green and blue and red and black, stars, quotes written down on the back. I've done a whole preaching series on the Steps to Christ. It's just a great book. One time, at least, has been the number one book sold after the Bible, number one book translated after the Bible. I can't give you latest statistics, but it's a great little book. You can read quickly God's love for man, sinner's need for Christ, repentance, confession, all the way through, consecration, faith and acceptance, the work and the life, and so on. Prayer, the privilege of prayer, rejoicing in the Lord, something like that. 13 chapters. Great book. Great, great, great book. Desire of Ages. Someone held it up today and said he'd read it 9 times where I was preaching tonight. You want to know Jesus? Read Desire of Ages. It's great. Mount of Blessing, Christ's Object Lesson. C.S. Lewis. My wife and I are C.S. Lewis people. Have I read as much as others? No, but I've read a lot. Weight of Glory, sermons, just magnificent sermons. He thinks it through, he penetrates, and he writes it clearly. Screw-tape letters about how Satan tempts us. Mere Christianity, wonderful, the more intellectual side of knowing Jesus. Chronicles of Narnia for children, but has deep, deep teachings in it. Anything by Max Lucado and Philip Yancey. Philip Yancey comes out with a book every year, and it's just a classic right away. The Jesus you never knew, the Bible Jesus read. I should think of more quickly. One about grace. There's a whole shelf I have of Philip Yancey. One on prayer, one on second coming. Max Lucado, preacher down in San Antonio, doesn't miss. Everything is well written, right out of sermons and his walk with God. Great writer. Just great. Books in the past that I've enjoyed. Keith Miller affected me. A Taste of New Wine. More Taste of New Wine. Helped me a lot. Obviously, I'm a character of God person. Anything by Graham Maxwell, Jack Provenza. Servants or Friends by Maxwell. Anything on the character of God you'll love. Provenza, You Can Go Home Again. These are classic books. Maxwell, God Can Be Trusted. Rick Warren, Purpose Driven Life. It took a lifetime of preaching and put it into into 40 days. And it's just great stuff. Every chapter is just filled with wisdom and truth. There's 1,000 Bible verses in there, and they found the best version of every verse. It's great stuff. Rick Warren, they sold 40, 50 million of them. Dallas Willard, Mustard Seed Conspiracy, or anything by Dallas Willard. Hearing God, great. Passed away now, but a great man. Close walk with God. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Cost of Discipleship, Life Together. Classic, great books. I wrote these things down here. I have an uncle, Maury Venden, who has a shelf of books. He's passed away now, but he leaves us this heritage. 5 Days on How to Know God. His devotional book, Faith That Works. Probably the one that summarizes it the most for me is 95 Theses on knowing, on having a relationship with God. We could go on and on. But there's enough there to last a while for you. Yes, there is new books all the time. There are classics. I just read this Gilead as a novel about this pastor. I got a blessing from that. Talk to other people to say, what are you reading? They're bringing you close to Jesus. But these books have all formed and shaped my relationship with God. And I pass them on to you. May they be a blessing to you. Thanks for doing this series with us. I'm Pastor Dan, and this is Spotlight. God bless you. Thank you for watching Spotlight. We're so excited about this. We hope that you'll subscribe, and so you'll get all of them. And please just forward it on to others and tell other people about it. And let's just see what kind of an audience we can get for these messages.